Welcome everyone to Steve Savant's Money, the name of the game. I'm your host, Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and money color commentator. On today's show, business deductions that reduce your company's tax liability. Part 5 in our series on end-of-the-year tax planning with author, speaker, and nationally recognized captive insurance company expert, Wes Sierk. Welcome to segment 5, Wes.
Thanks.
Wes, I'm looking at, and this now we're heading into, I mean, your wheelhouse is always on all these things we've been talking about, but now we're into the specific wheelhouse. And if you're a small business and you're paying some serious insurance premiums for a variety of reasons, and you're in a tall tax bracket, this could be a segment that could save you major league money. So let's first of all get the easy stuff out of the way first. Section 179. Now look at you. You just did this recently with because your annual year, your actual calendar business year is not the calendar year. It ends at November 30th, not December 31.
Correct.
So what did you walk me through? What did you do, and why did you do it?
I went out and bought computers because I could deduct all of them, office supplies, stationery, everything.
All this is straight line.
Everything I knew I was going to need for next year. That we just accelerated those deductions. I bought plane tickets for travel that I'm going to be taking in January. Now, because I mean every little bit, I know I'm going to spend it anyway, so I might as well spend it now versus later. Okay,
so how much can I straight line? Do you have any idea how much a business, how far up the food chain can I go here?
It depends. I mean, if I would say buy stuff you're going to use in the next 6 months, but don't overbuy. I mean, we have people that go out and buy tons of tractors and stuff that they're never going to use just because they don't want to pay taxes. I'm like, well, you would have been paying better off paying taxes, because then they have to turn around and sell the equipment at a loss anyway. Who knows what the new limit's going to be? Right now, I believe it's $500,000 for 179.
Wow, that's a hefty tab. So for most people, if you're going to use this for next year and you need a deduction, it totally makes sense. And especially when you're getting into things like computers, more of an equipment purchase.
Inventory businesses.
Inventory, it makes sense.
If you're a manufacturer, buy inventory that you're going to use to manufacture your product. Pay your bonuses before the end of the year to your employees.
So did you do that too, November 30th? Wow,
correct.
So they get a little Christmas present to shop.
They get it early.
I love that. You're such a good Santa. You're such a good Santa. Okay, now, I've had Wes on the show many times, but mostly for captive insurance companies. Of course, as you heard on the introduction on any of these segments, this is where you live. I'm really surprised how many small businesses, we say small, and they're paying $1 million in insurance premiums.
It's not hard these days.
It's not hard these days, and that's not small. So we have people that are always saying, Steve, I need help on tax management issues as a small business, on an entrepreneur. I also I have to do all these liability insurances, one thing or the other. And you have a thing that you've been doing for a long time, a legitimate approach that the IRS is okay with as long as it's done according to the regs, right? Correct. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there pushing captive insurance companies, but maybe not according to the regs or the intent and spirit of the law. Okay.
I would agree.
Well, let's talk about captive. What does a captive do? What is a captive? And who should qualify for this? If you're watching a business, who should our people call if they say, I qualify for what you said?
All right, perfect. A captive it's an insurance company that a business sets up to insure their own risk. So, you're a manufacturer and you're paying for health insurance, workers' comp, general liability, all these different premiums, and you have very little claims. You can actually set up your own domestically licensed, regulated insurance company. So instead of paying money to AIG, you actually pay it to XYZ insurance company that you own. Then you go out and get reinsurance to protect your downside risk. But insurance companies are given special tax breaks and benefits under the law. And it doesn't, not just captives, but all insurance companies. AIG, at the end of the year, they take in billions of dollars. And they have claims, whatever's left over, they say, we need to keep this in reserves. And they don't pay taxes on the money that they put in the reserves.
Because they have exposed liability that they have to park money in there for. So those reserves, and the government appreciates that and allows it, and they're able to keep, I guess it's kind of a strange form of retained earnings.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it sounds like to me.
Correct.
Okay, now.
Harvard Business Review did a study of Warren Buffett and his wealth. And everyone knows he's a great investor, but they found out that over 70% of his net worth was a direct result of owning insurance companies. because he can buy and sell securities inside of his insurance companies and have better tax benefits than you and I buying the same.
Because of the reserve issues.
Yep.
What's my demarcation line? I'm a small business. What are you looking at? Basically, what's the size of the business or the size of the premiums that I'm paying?
Yeah, it's not really the size of the revenue of the business. It more has to do with the size of the premiums. So if your total combined premium between health insurance, workers' comp, liability, all those is approaching $1 million a year, then it probably makes sense to start looking at forming your own insurance company and keeping that underwriting profit.
Now, you said this earlier. I just want to make sure I understood this correctly. So instead of paying the insurance company that I have been paying, the government's going to allow me to form my own insurance company, and I won't need to have, I'll be dealing direct with the reinsurance treaties, right, that are out there, at which my normal insurance carriers do as well.
Correct.
So I'm buying their big umbrella or whatever their protection is, and that savings, cutting out the middleman, is substantial?
Yeah, you're buying wholesale versus retail.
So it matters.
Yeah.
So not only am I now getting new tax favoredness because of this move, but I also get to keep, if I'm good at managing my claims, if I didn't have a lot of claims, I get to keep that money as a company.
Correct.
And I'm the shareholder of that company.
Yep.
So I benefit in the long run.
You exactly do.
Okay, so.
That's why our clients do it.
All right, so did I hear you right? If somebody's watching this, if I have $1 million of annual premium or right or close to it, I should look at this.
Correct.
You should look at this.
And we started doing captives early 2000. And there weren't a lot of businesses that paid, let's call it $500,000, $750,000, $1 million in health insurance. But now they're a dime a dozen. I mean, health insurance has shot up. So now, even if you have 50 employees, you're probably north of $650,000 a year in total spend. Not well, you get some back from your employees. I'm just talking about the overall spend on medical care. So you're better off doing it inside your own insurance company than going out and buying from the traditional market.
Okay, so if I'm not in Obamacare, if I'm not in the traditional market, I as an employer now am going to another health insurance reinsurance, right?
Correct.
And I'm building my own, what's deductible, what's not, what's hospital, blah, blah, blah. We're doing that. How hard is that?
Within, it's not hard at all, but you have the Affordable Care Act provisions, so you have to keep it within what they say. You can't just say, well, we're gonna not cover this and not cover that. I mean, the government has guidelines. You get back to ERISA, but I mean, you get, but you can really design the programs as rich of a benefit and as poor. I mean, we have clients now that it's been so profitable for them that now they got rid of copays for their employees. They got rid of copays on generic prescription drugs because they're saving so much on other places.
So the employee is not paying copays or deductibles even? Are they even doing deductibles?
No, not for, I mean, we have larger clients that have been in this for, 2-3 years, and they've been saving millions of dollars.
Well, I think the government needs to talk to you guys. I mean, I'm just saying, I mean, you walk back, if you told people, hey, this is like Medicare in Arizona where we have nothing, very little copay. It's like, it's $10. I think my lisinopril is like $6 for 90 days. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? I don't even know why they charge it, right? So I think this is huge because now the employees are better. Because one thing we talked about captives, my employer, he's getting the tax savings. There's tax issues here. There's also, I get to participate in reserve accounts that are kind of like retained earnings in the old days, except for they're not taxed.
Yeah.
But now my employee's benefiting because I just told my employee, guess what, this year, because we did so well, no copay, no deductible. What's with that?
And they don't have a network. Basically, we can design them so they can go to any doctor, any hospital, and still save a ton of money over the traditional market.
Why are we, Wes, I'm just so sorry. Who's your contact over in, what's your Freedom Caucus?
Yeah.
Why, talk to your guy again, tell him, why are we not doing this? I mean, business leads the way. By the way, this country is built on corporate America, built on the capitalist system. This is a huge issue of use and good use of capitalism and a free market that can what? Tell my employees no co-op or very reduced low deductibles. To me, that's the way to go.
Yeah, and doctors love it because now they're getting paid faster. They're getting, all that's negotiated with the doctors up front. I mean, it's great. It's a godsend to employers. They can cap that increasing expense of medical care.
If you are fitting within the profile that Wes has described, you should really contact us. We'll get you to Wes. This is where it's going. This is his area of wheelhouse forte, his expertise. This is going to be huge for you to really reduce your expense loads and really take advantage under the code of some of these issues of captive insurance companies. I want to thank you, Wes, for being on our show and sharing the end of the year tax planning. Hopefully we can reduce our liability. And keep in mind, before moving forward with any of the ideas on our show, always check with your tax consultant, legal counsel, or your financial advisor. You've been watching Steve Savant's Money, the name of the game.